In today's video, we're going to talk about the real reason why Trick Williams won the TNA World Championship at NXT Battleground. We're also going to talk a little bit about Tony Khan's comments about WWE counter-programming. And we do got to talk about a former AEW star who was seen backstage at AEW Double or Nothing. Is this guy returning to the company? It's all coming up right here on the Ango Show. Alright guys, if you want more videos like this, go ahead and click subscribe. We're on the hunt for 100,000 subscribers. I actually want to kick things off with Tony Khan and his comments about WWE counter-programming because he was actually much more professional in his approach to the question. Now, obviously, Tony Khan is getting counter-programmed by WWE. You and I cannot deny that. We know this. WWE is doing that. And, you know, a lot of people make this a big deal. I don't. And I'm going to explain why. I talked a little bit about this on Twitter. I want to talk about this more in depth. WWE, they can tell you all they want that AEW is not competition. They are. It doesn't matter. WWE, being the bigger company, is always going to try to diminish and make the smaller companies feel inferior. Now, whether this offends you or not really shouldn't, because to be honest with you, WWE counter-programming AEW is a good thing for professional wrestling. Everybody seems to disagree with me because they say, oh, well, that's just so petty and whatever. No, what makes WWE and AEW better is them being competitors. That literally forces WWE to improve. That forces Tony Khan to improve. If you guys are watching AEW in 2025 and you are one of the people that actually enjoy watching it and you feel like the company is improving, well, it probably has a lot to do with the fact that WWE has been on their A game. TKO is absolutely killing it, and that makes Tony Khan come in and have to try harder. If Tony Khan isn't trying harder, you get mediocre shows. So when Tony Khan was talking about this, basically, he was just saying the pattern is very consistent to what happened with the Jim Crockett promotions. And he says that others may be taking that approach. He believes that things will turn out a lot more differently this time. And he's not swearing. He's not argumentative. He's just being relatively normal. WWE is going to counter-program. It's okay. Look at the NXT Wednesday Night Wars with AEW. That forced everybody to step up. Like, to me, I don't know what it is. Wrestling fans want competition until the competitor starts forcing their way in and does these tactics. It's so strange to me. Just enjoy it, bro. If you like both shows, watch both shows. If you don't like both shows, don't. Watch the one that you prefer. I like doing split screen. I like two monitors at the same time watching both shows. Personally speaking, I think AEW needs to improve. That's okay. They're making some strides in certain areas, and that's a great thing. But WWE being a competitor shouldn't piss people off. It should make you happy to realize that, like, people in the industry actually want to do good things. And if you're a fan of WWE or a fan of AEW, just keep supporting what you watch. It's not that deep. So that brings us to our next topic. Ladies and gentlemen, Joey Janela was backstage, apparently, at AEW Double or Nothing. And this is very interesting to me because Joey Janela has obviously been doing a lot of things on the indie scene. He was an OG member of AEW, and he obviously left the company. He was seen backstage at AEW Double or Nothing, according to Fightful Select. Double or Nothing was in Arizona. Now, it's not out of the realm that people are friends with people within the company, stuff like that. Joey Janela sometimes I feel like kind of has been a little outspoken about AEW, but I'm going to throw this out there, man. I think this would be a return that's worth it. I think whether or not he actually does come back, we don't know. That's why there's question marks all over this thing, right? But him coming back to AEW, you know, would be the right move. Now, let me explain why, and hopefully you guys actually listen and hear me out here. Joey Janela was one of the OG members. Joey Janela is willing to do the crazy spots. I'm not saying this to be like an asshole, right? But AEW is starting to kind of get back to that original vision of like truly being an alternative. If you guys saw Anarchy in the Arena, you see the ambulance, the stretcher match, you see these things, they're kind of going back to being that gritty professional wrestling company, which I feel like they lost their spark a couple years ago. Joey Janela is not going to be world champion. Joey Janela probably isn't going to be TNT champion. He's not going to, but he will go out there like Darby Allin and do some crazy ass stuff, which is perfect for the AEW audience. That's what people fell in love with AEW originally. So I actually think Joey Janela being a part of the roster would be great. I don't know if AEW is actually going to bring him back, but I do think he makes sense to be in this company. This is a guy that, like, again, he's a risk taker. People enjoy this kind of stuff. He's one of those guys that people do enjoy watching. Why not? You know, if everything is going to be acrobatics and flips and this and that, like, I feel like that just, it's redundant. But if you have some of your daredevils, if you have some of your characters, if you have like a balance of different elements to the show, whether it's, well, you know, whether it's the flippy stuff, whatever it may be, I think it makes sense. That brings us to our next topic, ladies and gentlemen. What is the real reason why Trick Williams won the TNA World Champion? Well, there's a couple different reasons, but WWE and TNA were looking to spice up the partnership. That's the first thing, right? A lot of people believe that the partnership was kind of getting stagnant in the sense that WWE and TNA were not doing title changes. They were not freshening up the stories. Yes, there was a talent exchange, and that's cool, but they haven't really been doing much more than that. So that's one of the reasons why they've obviously done this. They want to spice up the partnership. Cool. A second thing that I think should be mentioned here is that TNA has been very much in the realm of trying to make Mike Santana a big singles star. Mike Santana left AEW, went to TNA, absolutely killed it. This guy is killing it. House of Glory, TNA, doing the indies. This guy is a beast. And I think for TNA, really what it comes down to here is having Mike Santana beat a WWE guy for the world title will literally transcend everything. And I think there is a little bit more confidence, and this is my own speculation, but I think TNA has a lot of confidence in the fact that if Mike Santana becomes world champion, he's not leaving the company for WWE. And I think Joe Hendry is pretty much on his way out to WWE. And so if you're TNA and you know that Joe Hendry probably won't be sticking around, then it's very obvious you have your next big star take the belt off a WWE guy. Trick Williams being that guy is perfect because now WWE gets some added benefit. His character was getting stale. He's been in NXT for a long time, and he may not necessarily be ready for the main roster just yet. So he gets the extra benefit of getting more experience. And of course, you spice up the relationship between both companies. It just works out for both companies. And also, I think the final thing that really needs to be said here is TNA, Joe Hendry, I don't know. There's something about that that's kind of felt stale. So I think that really needs to be said too. It was starting to get stale. So again, spice, freshen things up. Joe Hendry might be out. Now you build up Mike Santana. It's perfect. It literally works out perfect. Wonderful weekend for pro wrestling, guys. Happy Memorial Day. Hopefully you all have a good one. Thank you all for watching. Peace.